Conor McGregor has thrown his hat into the ring for Ireland's top office, following a high-profile meeting with Donald Trump. In a striking snapshot beside a sleek private jet and sporting a Make Ireland Great Again cap, he signaled his intent to run, leaving many to wonder what surprises lie ahead. Only days after a stormy visit to the White House, McGregor boldly revealed his plan to challenge for the presidency. The famed MMA fighter, whose reputation took a hit after a civil case in Dublin last November, used Instagram to announce his bid, standing confidently by a private jet while donning the cap that shouted his message. This post arrived just after he had warned at the White House about an illegal immigration racket ravaging our country, adding fuel to the fire of his dramatic political move. In his online call to arms, McGregor urged that Ireland must fully enforce the EU Migration Pact by June 12, 2026. He explained that several laws need passing in both houses of the Oireachtas and then a presidential signature before that deadline. He reminded everyone that the next presidential election is set for November 11, 2025, and he challenged any potential rival, who else will stand up to the government's plans. McGregor declared that while others would fall in line, he alone would oppose them. He promised that if elected, he'd push the issue to a public vote via referendum, insisting that even though he strongly opposes the pact, it is ultimately the people's call, a true mark of democracy. What will the people choose when the moment comes? Earlier on social media, he rallied his supporters with a clear message: Ireland, the choice is yours, and it is an easy one. Vote for me as your president and we will save Ireland together. His spirited words left a trail of anticipation and a hint of rebellion. On Monday, right before a press conference with Donald Trump, McGregor warned a gathered crowd that Ireland was at risk of losing its true character. He sharply criticized the government for showing zero action with zero accountability, arguing that public funds were being wasted on issues far removed from everyday Irish life. His passionate outburst stirred both anger and hope, leaving the audience to ponder whether a new voice was what the nation truly needed. Interestingly, his invitation to the White House came after Trump had, just last week, singled him out as one of his favorite Irish figures. When the two finally met, McGregor didn't hold back praising Trump's inspiring work ethic. In a series of snapshots, the duo was seen shaking hands and sharing a few lighthearted moments in the Oval Office, posing near a map humorously marked as the Gulf of America instead of the Gulf of Mexico. Before this meeting, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt remarked that no one could have been a better guest on St. Patrick's Day, setting the stage for a moment full of irony and unexpected charm. Back home, however, McGregor's Washington appearance wasn't welcomed by all. Irish leaders voiced their discontent. Taoiseach Michael Martin took to social media, saying that McGregor's words missed the real spirit of St. Patrick's Day and did not represent what the Irish people feel. Martin reminded everyone that the holiday is meant to celebrate community, kindness, friendship, and togetherness. Can a flashy visit really capture the heart of a nation steeped in tradition? In a video recorded in New York, Deputy Prime Minister Simon Harris made his position crystal clear. While he acknowledged that President Trump has the right to invite whomever he wants, he stressed that McGregor is not in the United States as Ireland's ambassador. He speaks only for himself, Harris said firmly, leaving no doubt about his views on McGregor's role in the political landscape. Though McGregor has never held public office, he confidently claims he is the only logical choice for Ireland's presidency. In a country where Michael D. Higgins currently serves a second term as the elected head of state, while real power rests with the Taoiseach chosen by the Dáil, the former fighter's ambition is a stark contrast to the traditional political scene. His bold assertion challenges the norms and makes many wonder if fresh blood could stir change. Just yesterday, McGregor boasted about having the complete backing of the entire Trump administration. On Wednesday morning, he shared photos from a meeting with the U.S. Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, describing it as a tremendously productive meeting. In another post featuring a chat with the Department of Health Chief Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he simply said, "Astounding meeting." Even at Trump's inauguration in January, when asked about a political run, his reply was an enigmatic "We will see. We will see. We will see." What might his next move reveal? Back in September last year, McGregor took to social media with a fiery message. As president, he claimed he'd have the power to summon or even dissolve the Dáil. He fiercely condemned those in power, labeling them as thieves of the working class, disruptors of family life, and destroyers of small businesses. He warned that these charlatans would be forced to answer to the people by the end of the day, or else the deal would be scrapped altogether. His dramatic pledge was a call for truth and accountability, leaving the public to question whether a radical change was finally on the horizon. In December 2023, amid the heated debates following the Dublin riots sparked by the stabbings of 3 children and a carer, McGregor made a strong case for his candidacy. He pointed to potential competitors, Gerry Adams at 78, Bertie Ahern at 75, and Enda Kenny at 74, each deeply tied to their party politics. Then he contrasted this with himself at 35, arguing that his youth, energy, and unbiased approach made him the refreshing alternative that the Irish people deserve. Would his promise to listen and adapt win over a tired political system? His bid has already caught the attention of some big names. Elon Musk, now known as a leading figure in Trump's circle, commented that McGregor could outshine all his rivals single-handedly. Andrew Tate, despite facing serious charges in Romania that he denies, also voiced support, reminding everyone of his Irish roots and pledging his vote. With such backing, one might wonder if an underdog can truly shake up the system. Yet, McGregor's journey is not without dark shadows. His visit to the White House came only months after a Dublin High Court found him civilly liable in a case brought by a woman who accused him of rape. Nikita Hand, also known as Nikita N.I. Lehman, won her claim against him after alleging that he raped her in a Dublin hotel back in December 2018. At 35, she was awarded damages and costs after a lengthy 3-week trial, with a judge later stating that the jury had conclusively determined McGregor's guilt. Can his political dreams overcome such a controversial past? In the fallout, many major retailers cut ties with him, halting sales of his proper No. 12 Irish whiskey, and even his presence in the video game Hitman was erased. Tenace Mr. Harris later stated that he'd spoken to Nikita Hand, expressing admiration for her bravery and emphasizing that her story was far more important than McGregor's antics. The Dublin Rape Crisis Center also stepped in, writing to the U.S. Embassy in Ireland to express concern that McGregor's White House appearance normalized sexual violence and minimized the pain of survivors. Adding to the controversy, McGregor and the NBA's Miami Heat now face a federal lawsuit over claims that he sexually assaulted a woman in a bathroom at the Casilla Center, claims he denies. Amid these serious allegations, he has maintained his innocence, leaving the public to wrestle with conflicting images of his character. The controversy deepened when, during a game, McGregor was accused of striking the team mascot, Bernie. In a moment that turned chaotic, his misguided on-court bit sent the costume performer tumbling hard on the floor, with a second blow leaving him clearly hurt. Heat coach Eric Spoelstra later confirmed that Bernie was taken to the hospital but reassured everyone that no permanent harm was done. Spoelstra's comment about the mascot's toughness only added to the surreal nature of the event. How much longer can such episodes be shrugged off as mere skits gone awry? In a casual interview with Adam Glynn in June 2023, McGregor dismissed the incident by saying, "The mascot's good, my man. It was a skit, and it went the way it went, but all is well." Yet, despite support from some in America, many experts remain skeptical about his chances. Gail McElroy, a political science professor at Trinity College Dublin, bluntly noted that his odds of even getting nominated are close to zero. With nomination rules requiring support from 20 members of the Oireachtas or 4 of Ireland's 31 local authorities, the hurdles are steep. Could his unconventional approach overcome these entrenched barriers? Names like former Prime Minister Bertie Ahern and ex-European Commissioner Mairead McGuinness have already been floated as more likely contenders, underscoring the uphill battle for any outsider. Still, McGregor has managed to gather support from a growing group on the right, who favor strong nationalist and anti-immigration views. In Ireland's recent general election last November, Fianna Fáil managed to retain the most seats while centrist and centre-right parties stayed on top. With tradition holding strong, the question lingers, is there room for a maverick like McGregor in this well-established arena? Each twist in McGregor's saga leaves us hanging, eager to see if his bold promises and unconventional approach might someday reshape the political landscape of Ireland.